Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today, I've got a wild one. This is Creative Technique combo from Patreon subscriber King of the Depths. Creative Technique is a card that has existed for several years in paper, but we just got a week or two ago on Magic Online. This is the type of thing that you see coverage screenshots from some random store that ran a legacy tournament and streamed it to Twitch or something, or someone whispers about it. But without being on MTGO, it hasn't been shown the light of the real world yet. Let's change that now. This is 4 and a red sorcery. It has Demonstrate, which means when you cast a spell, you may copy it. If you do, an opponent also copies it. The effect of the spell: shuffle your library, reveal cards from it until you reveal a non-land, exile that card, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. So it's kind of like Cascade, except it doesn't care about the mana value. It just, whatever your next spell is, fire it off. And Demonstrate gives you some resilience against counter magic because you get 2 copies of your spell and you just hope that they don't also cascade into a different counter spell, I guess. Pretty high redundancy in this one card. And then what happens from there is bonkers. 5 is the lowest mana value in the deck, which means Creative Technique is the only card you can hit off of any of these 6 mana Cascade effects, of which you have many. There are 11 6 mana Cascade effects in the deck. They all end up at Creative Technique, which you can choose to demonstrate again to just keep firing these off. Apex Devastator, 10 drop that cascades 4 times. Maelstrom Wanderer, 7 drop that cascades twice and gives your creatures haste. These all end up either hitting a 6 that ends up at Creative Technique, or just hitting the Creative Technique directly, and then you go back again. Eventually in this cascade chain, you will run out of other non-land spells because every other card in the deck will have been cascaded through by then. And then Creative Techniques hit Emrakul, and there's 2 Emrakuls, and it's a legend, and when it dies it shuffles your stuff in. So depending on how bonkers we go, we could cast Emrakul, which has haste, by the way. We won't need the extra turn, but we'll get one. And then if Creative Techniques are still resolving, you'll end up with another Emrakul. You legend roll 1, shuffle all this stuff back into the deck that ended up there, and then you end up with a bunch of Creative Techniques in your graveyard. And then those refire the Emrakul. That's still the last spell in your deck. You basically end up with some preposterous amount of haste and power in play, and somewhere between 1 and 5, 6, 7 extra turns on the stack. It becomes crazy. And it's a 1-card combo, which is really fascinating. And if you don't draw the technique, any of these 6 drops, once you get to 6 mana, you cascade into Creative Technique guaranteed, and you can demonstrate it off the cascade. So basically, there's just a bunch of lands that tap for 2. There are 38 lands in this deck. An insane number, but it's very important to get to 5 and 6 mana. And all but 3 of them tap for 2. The only one that doesn't is Otawara, and that's because it's our air quotes spell in the deck. This has an extremely singular focus, and it is to put Creative Technique on the stack and then let the fur fly, as they say. The sideboard has a little bit of kind of clever stuff, I guess. Questing Beast can beat the One Ring. That's why that's in here. Damage can be prevented this turn when this attacks. If you're against a One Ring deck that can fog combat no matter how many extra turns you have, Questing Beast can bust it open. Karakas and the 4th Otawara can interact with stuff without being spells. Mirror Shell Crab kind of muddies up your Apex Devastator cascades, which is a funny thing to say out loud, but it's also a counterspell that you can play if you need it. And then Throes of Chaos and Tybalt's Trickery are a package. You can lower your curve a little bit and get a Retrace Cascade spell. This helps against discard decks. As Throes of Chaos hits Tybalt's Trickery, and then Tybalt's Trickery counters the Throes of Chaos, and then you're in your Cascade chain again. You could kind of work from 4 down to 2, then back up into the 5s and 6s. Kind of a cool thing. I lost to this sideboard package the other day on the channel. That's the only reason I don't understand it. Pyrokinesis in this build. I've also seen Fury. Pyrokinesis is an instant, but it only hits creatures. Fury is a sorcery speed thing that can also hit planeswalkers. I'm not sure which one is better. I'm just going to trust this recent 5-0 list. And let's do it. This is Creative Technique combo. I'm on the play against Punishing Waterfalls, who is known for their wild Yorion Value Storm Spellseeker deck. I don't even know what to call it, really. I'm going to need a red source to get this party going, so I'm going to lead on Tinder Farm. If you see Tinder Farm, you can immediately know what you're up against. There's not 2 decks in the format that play this card right now. Although this cycle of Invasion Sack lands was played alongside Mind's Desire and extended back in the day. Green versus blue versus just putting Ancient Tomb into play. And it doesn't really matter. The only thing I'm worried about is, well, I can't really beat Teferi Time Raveler. Please don't do that. And other than that, wasting my red source here would actually be really devastating. Opponent apologized for the quick YouTube match. I am hoping this league is a speed run. Kind of hoping for a sub 1 hour league. I've released a couple of almost 3-hour collaborations lately. Been kind of wild all over the place. Let's get one out of here, out the door in 59 minutes or less. Okay, doing some abundant growth stuff. Okay, I'm going to cast Boarding Party. And it's going to get a Creative Technique because that's what it does. Ancient Tomb. Boop, boop, pop. Here we go. Creative Technique, and I am going to demonstrate it. Okay, here we go. I believe they get the first one. Leyline of Sanctity, that doesn't matter. Okay, cool. Aurora Phoenix, let's go. Start the party. Aurora Phoenix gets another Creative Technique because that's the only 5. I'm not going to demonstrate it now. My chain has started. We're already doing stuff. Sweet Gum Recluse, the big spider buddy. Exciting card, Sweet Gum Recluse. It puts 3 +1/+1 counters on any number of creatures that entered the battlefield this turn, which is going to be a lot by the time this Sweet Gum resolves at the end of the chain. Maybe I should be demonstrating, though if they flip into Tendrils and just kill me mid-combo, I can't live with that, so I'm not going to be demonstrating. I know it feels weird to say Tendrils. Okay, we found the haste monster, now we just win. Okay, yeah, they were waiting for the haste to see 18 power haste, and there it is. Bang, bang. That was fun. Leyline of Sanctity right in the main deck. That's interesting technology. It doesn't really affect me at all, but it is interesting. What is this deck going to do to beat me? I'm worried about Teferi Time Raveler, because that does shut off everything. And I'm sure I could turn just one of these lands almost at random into an Otawara. I could even just go +1 land. This plays 61. Who cares? The rules don't apply to this deck. Questing Beast. Does that seem relevant? I guess this deck could conceivably have the One Ring in it. I don't know. It's a Yorion soup deck. I know it has a Storm Kill. If Punishing Waterfalls still doing their thing over there. Okay, I cut 2 lands. I tried to choose ones that seemed the lowest impact, though I might just be totally wrong. Cutting Crystal Vein that comes into play on tap might be a mistake, but whatever, let's just count to 6 again. Okay, I have 6 mana in my hand, plus Otawara if I need it. Don't currently have blue, but it could happen. Sandstone Needle in there. There's one Canonist to tilt. Okay, well, we're going to need this Otawara. Come on, blue source. Non-artifact. Okay, well, these are not artifacts. Argo the Enchantress. Wow, we're an Enchantress deck now? Alright, opponent is up to something over there. Still not a blue source. That's tough. I can just play these creatures as creatures, but all my lands run out of gas eventually. This one cannon is not really a combo with Enchantress strategies. Still no blue. Feeling stupid that I boarded out a Sappers and Scary. I cut one blue source from the deck, and I added a second Otawara, so we're the same on blue sources, but this does feel really bad given the position I'm currently in. Omen of the Sea, okay. I can Sweet Gum in combat next turn and just block Ethersworn Canonist with a 3/6. I will be bringing in my Pyrokinesis now that I know what's going on over there. That is risky because it can break the Cascade chain. It's not free the way Otawara was. Karn the Great Creator. Yikes. Okay, this is probably not the Storm deck. This is something completely different. Liquid Metal Coating. Annoying. I'm going to start destroying my lands next turn. Okay, Rashad importing me there. Apex Devastator. Cool. I got one more chance here, and probably not, because if they just get the lattice, I'm in the goop anyway. Yeah, I'm not going to reveal my Sweet Gum Recluse and try to tempo this out. We're just dead here. There was a 3-turn window where if any of our lands make blue, we just punch through that. Interesting. Okay. 7% scary. Lesson learned. I was worried about cutting a red source because so many of our initial things are red, but maybe blue is just too important on the splash. Sulfur Vent is both blue and red. Tinder Farm is red on the backside. I think I like the sack lands better than the depletion lands if we're keeping one around. And then Pyrokinesis can kill 8 bears. How many of these do I play? How far do we go? And I can't cut like too many. All right, I think Questing Beast, though Karn can wish for the One Ring. That's like a whole thing. Okay, I'm gonna bet against the One Ring. I just don't have that many sideboard slots to play with here. Sakashima's Protege. What are the words on this one? Yeah, it's basically just a Cascade spell. And I can't cut my too many red cards because I need them for Pyrokinesis. I think I'm going to make room for 3 Pyros and then run it like this. I have all my Otawaras, 3 of my 4 Pyrokinesis. Okay, I have Creative Technique. I have an answer to a thing. Other Sworn Canonist, if that's the one they go with. I do need a 5th mana source, but I'm ready to party here. Canonist is really difficult because if I demonstrate Technique and they hit Canonist mid-combo, my whole any number of Cascades or Creative Techniques on the stack then just eat poo. When I went to 5, okay, there are 38 lands in my deck. I hope we draw 1 in the next 2 draw steps. Utopia Sprawl's in there. Uh-oh. Phoenix, not a land. Argothian Enchantress. Alright, deck, come on. Ancient Tomb. Oh no, not like this. This is bad. I hope they also kept a brick. Battling with Enchantress. Sending a message. How funny would it be if I had a flash creature there? Otawara, okay. Play Otawara, Soaring City, and I gotta go in here. This is what we do. I am gonna demonstrate it. I just hope they don't hit Other Sworn Canonist specifically. Anything else, it's fine. The fuck is this? This spell costs X less to cast or X the number of enchantments, sacrifice another enchantment, gains indestructible. Alright. Enjoy your 12 mana spell, but I hope it doesn't matter. Oh, Emrakul, the Aeon Storm. How about that one? Right off the tippity top. Who needs a Cascade Chain? Wow, that was thrilling. Nyxborn Behemoth versus Emrakul, the Aeon Storm. You saw it here first. On to the next round.
You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7 Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7 Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7 Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better.
I'm on the play in round 2 against another Yorian strategy. I'm gonna keep this hand. I mean, it literally just has like mana in it, I guess. Maelstrom Wanderer is the worst of the Cascaders, but any non-Emrakul spell in my deck just sets it off here. I'm going to lead on Hickory Woodlot. If this is Yorion Taxes, oh wow, they have 88 cards in their starting deck. They're committed to being a Yorion deck. If this is Taxes, this is the land I would prefer get wasted. I don't know what's going on over there, though. We're going to have a good time with it. Shatter Skull in your 88 card Yorion deck. What is going on? I really hope I draw a 5 or 6 mana engine thing to pop this off on turn 3. An uncastable 6er. Cool. Yeah, this deck, in order to get the reliability of Cascade, certainly has to make some weird concessions, and there's some stuff on the fringes that sometimes you have like your 6 and your 7 and not the mana to cast them. Shatter Skull go out of this 88 card Yorion deck. What is going on? Come on, 6-drop. Tinder Farm, green, red, blue. Okay, I can Maelstrom Wanderer next turn with Otawara. Okay. Let's hope whatever this is continues not doing anything. If we suddenly get Oops all spells out of an 88 card Yorion deck, I'm going to be so impressed. Enraged, but impressed. Chrome Mox. I'm worried. Blood Moon slows me down until I draw one of my red cards, if that's what's happening. Squee Dubious Monarch. I would agree. Dubious is a fair way to describe what we've seen so far. Chalice on 1. My curve starts at 5. Not bad. Okay, I'm ready to party here. The old turn 4 hardcast Maelstrom Wanderer, just like Garfield intended. Just make sure this is right. I drew a boarding party, but I still think Wanderer is better. So green, red, blue, 5, 6, 7, or 5, oh, this is an 8-drop, not a 7. Why did I think this cost 7? My whole life has been a lie. I guess I'm playing boarding party then. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can boarding party and just do the thing without losing any lands. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, glad I drew that one because I wasn't going anywhere otherwise. Creative Technique. I am not going to demonstrate this because if they hit Trinisphere, I'm in trouble, and I don't think I need to. If they're a mono red, whatever the heck. Aurora Phoenix. Creative Technique. Aurora Phoenix. It's going to be another Creative Technique. Maybe I should be demonstrating them now to make sure I hit a haste creature with one in my hand. There's still one in my deck. I don't need to demonstrate this one yet. There we go. All right. Now we got a big O. Boarding party. That's 12 haste. This is the last Creative Technique. I'm not going to demonstrate it. I think I have enough here. Even if this doesn't end up in Wanderer. Cool. We did it. That was fun. Unclear what my opponent's up to right now. Otawara does not seem like the answer I'm looking for because I have no source of blue mana if they Blood Moon. I guess Otawara is good against Trinisphere, though. I've seen lists with Beseiju in them. That's probably a good call. My list doesn't have that. Do I want to crab as some sort of interaction? If I do all this, what am I cutting? I think I'm just going to bring in Otawara over a Hickory Woodlot. Because Otawara answers everything that's not Blood Moon, and I can still chain off through Blood Moon. All my best payoffs are red anyway. And then... oh, this is... good chance this is a One Ring deck. They're an 88 card Yorion deck. I don't know what the heck's going on specifically, but Red Prison in general is a very good One Ring deck. I'm going to shave this Sakashima's Protege. That just seems like the weakest Cascader. I don't know. All right, here we go. I don't have high confidence in these sideboard plans, for the record. Straight line to Creative Technique. Ancient Tomb. Sorcerer's Spyglass. Okay, they can name Tinder Farm, and then I don't have red right now. That's pretty cool. Oh, wait, is this... No, yeah, this is just full Pithing Needle. Oh, no, this is a mana ability. Activated ability, inlet. Oh, yeah. No, there's not a single activated ability in this deck. Sure, deal. Yeah, they can name lands with this, but it won't turn off what I'm doing. Okay, Tinder Farm. They said, not sure if that works in the chat. I told them I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Okay, drew another red source just in case they also are a Wasteland deck somehow. Most worried about Trinisphere of all cards they could have in Magic the Gathering. Arid Mesa. Okay, we got fetch lands in this deck. Gotta thin out those 88 cards somehow. Ooh, Plateau. I didn't see the white splash. This could be Hate Bears. We'll win the race against this thing for sure. Unless it's backed up by something big next turn. Yeah, I think I want Sap Prison Scary because that doesn't die when I use it. Yeah, there's nothing here that taps for red without dying, so already committed my Tinder Farm. And next turn I can City of Traders and let it rip. My fingers crossed. No Prison Piece right now, and we should be okay. And Blood Moon would actually be a difficult race at this point. Alright, here comes a bunch of damage. There was no additional creature pre-combat. We're about to find out what's going on. Caracas. That can pop haste off my creatures, I guess, which is not irrelevant. Deafening Silence. My spells are mostly creatures. Okay, so I can't Creative Technique twice. Or I would have to demonstrate it to do that twice, but as long as I hit creatures up the chain, it's fine. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably should have played Crystal Vein here. It's playing around days. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I am going to demonstrate this and hope they don't hit Trinisphere. The copies aren't cast, so they can put whatever they hit off of Technique. Bone Crusher Giant, that one's fine. And my chain is going to stop at some point. I just hope that this Technique hits a Devastator or something and really gets it going. Or a Phoenix. Can't Cascade into stuff. This is actually pretty bad. I am not going to Cascade because there's no... Or I have Questing Beast in my deck, right? Yeah, I could hit here. Oh wait, it's just already happened. Can't cast Technique. Phoenix comes in. Technique. It's another Phoenix. Come on, Questing Beast. Yeah, we did it. I mean, they can bounce it. It's a legend. But at least I'm doing something here. Yeah, that Caracas weirdly relevant. And the not playing Crystal Vein instead of City Traders is going to absolutely destroy me. Oh, they're at 9, and I have 10 power of flying. I got that going for me. Okay. Just do that. This Ancient Tomb has put them into strike range. I'm actually really annoyed with myself that I played the City of Traders instead of Crystal Vein. Because getting up to Maelstrom Wanderer is actually pretty reasonable here, except that I'm about to lose 2 mana. So bad. Caracas cleared my beast. They knew about that one. Is this attack lethal? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm at 1. Is that right? Oh, I can block the goblins too. That absorbs a bunch of the damage. Right, 5, 9, 10. Yeah, I'm going to block 2 of the goblins and just try to win on the backswing. If they lightning bolt me, they deserve it. But I'm not getting another turn here. After this one. You know they're holding Yorion and 4 mystery cards. Not even sure if bouncing Questing Beast was right, because if they have a land here, they could have cast Yorion, block one of these birds, and then win next turn. Interesting. And Chrome Mox plus land still cast Yorion. Fury stabilizes. There's a lot they could have here. Yeah, if they hadn't tapped Caracas, they would have had a blocker, and they can flicker their creatures. Sick. I actually can't do this because of City of Traders. Alright, I'm just going to attack and hope it works. Are you dead? Please. Weird game, but we did it. Okay, GG's opponent. Their deck is ambitious, and I hope that All this testing and tuning works out for them. Almost got me with the deafening silence. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the play in round 3, and I'm going to have to mulligan. No colored mana in this hand. Here we go. This is a turn 3 creative technique. I'm going to keep. And I'm going to send Sakashima's Protege to the bottom. That's the hardest one to cast. All right, let's just keep dodging Wasteland. Opponent's also on 6, Sandstone Needle, send it. Just don't waste me for 2 turns, and we'll be friends. Marsh Flats. Plains, Aether Vial, uh-oh. Wasteland deck confirmed. I'm going to go with Hickory Woodlot, because that doesn't sack itself when I use it. And fingers crossed. Thalia's a beating. Wasteland's a beating. Rashad Port's annoying. I would actually rather see Wasteland or Rashad Port than Thalia. Let's hope they just Stoneforge Mystic and pass, though. That's what I need out of them right now. Or Spirit of the Labyrinth. Something that doesn't matter, please. Oh. Somebody kept an Aether Vial 1-lander and didn't get there. Caught with your hand in the cookie jar, and I'm here to punish. I don't think I'm going to demonstrate because they have a bunch of hateful junk that I just said that could come into play. Nope, don't demonstrate it. Just the one. This is where they force me. Oh my goodness, there are... Alright, well, I talked a bunch of trash. Esper Vial tricked me. Force pitching True Name Nemesis. Alright, yep, they got me with their weird start. Walked me into a dirty trap. That's okay. My next mana gets Boarding Party on the stack, and then we're going. So now Aether Vial's live. They found Caracas. 5 mana available right now. Next turn I'll have 6 or 7 if I want it. Okay, here we go. Boarding Party has haste. Aurora Phoenix has flying. I think haste is better than flying here. And really only one thing to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here they come. I will demonstrate the thing now that I know they're a counterspell deck. More than a 8-bear deck, though they could have both. Sword of Fire and Ice is their hit off creative technique. That one doesn't help save them. Cascade. Sakashima's a Protege. I think I'm going to keep demonstrating. At least for now. I'm over the hump of counterspell. They would have to hit an actual 8-bear. They hit Brainstorm, sure. And the Vial's a little creepy. And the Caracas up can knock haste off my creatures whenever I get the Maelstrom Wanderer. Gonna need an Emrakul in the mix here. Boarding Party. Just keep creatively techniquing. And I'm gonna demonstrate. Just gonna keep going here. Recruiter or the Guard was their hit? Okay, so they can recruit for whatever hate bear messes me up here if it costs 3. Uh-oh. A little worried. Not gonna lie. Is there a known 3-drop that's normally in these decks that messes me up badly here? I mean, they could get True Name that absorbs some combat damage, then Sword of Fire and Ice is on the way back. Venser doesn't matter. Boarding Party. I'm not going to demonstrate. Oh wait, I'm out. I'm out of creative techniques. That's another good reason not to demonstrate. All right, lots of haste creatures here. Sakashima's Protege can enter as a haste creature as well. Sweet Gum Recluse. Alright, all of these are heckin' huge now. Put +3/+3 on each of these boarding parties. Bang, 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 bang. Big Hungry Spider. Protege. I think this is better as a boarding party than as a Recluse. Just more haste. Last technique, spikes Emrakul, GG. That was good stuff. And this is a lot of haste, a lot of power. I don't know if I'm going to need the extra turn, but I have it if I want it. Here comes the squad. They got me with that Force of Will. It was cool that we could just punch through it. Swords to Plowshares, okay. Fighting the good fight over there. Solitude, okay. Continue fighting the good fight. Oh, are they a flicker strategy? That would actually be really good if they can ephemerate here. Exiling another boarding party. Jump block, then I go to my extra turn. And they can bounce Emrakul, but it doesn't matter. All right, what did you pitch to Solitude, Stoneforge? All right, so we got a bunch of extra info there, and then they died anyway. Cool. Okay, Baby's first blue deck. Is that true? What did I play against round one? Enchantress, yeah. They may or may not have been blue. And then Red Prison, so definitely first confirmed Force of Will deck. Pyrokinesis seems medium relevant here. I just really like the Otawara. Just very into that as a card. Had a Hickory Woodlot for it. Questing Beast, Brick's true name. But I don't know if that's what we need to care about here. I think Pyrokinesis is probably more important. We've seen Stoneforge that represents pressure. This deck could have Ethersworn Canoness. I'm going to cut Protege, one of the Sweet Gums. Sideboarding is just so hard with this deck. Every card matters. Just looking at the lands. Can I cut a land? Do I cut another Hickory Woodlot? Sure. 37 lands. I think I could get away with it. Let's do it. Okay. Straight shot to Aurora Phoenix and Otawara in between. Let's do it. This deck actually sucks bad against back to basics because all your lands ETB tapped and then just kind of stay that way. Tundra, Underground Sea, Lavinia. Okay. Sandstone Needle, get in. I can play my next tap land, Otawara, the Lavinia, and then go for Aurora Phoenix. They would need a second Hate Bear to really shut me down here. Baleful Strix is not it. Sandstone Needle, and pass the turn. Please do not have a second Hate Bear here. Thoughtseize doesn't break me up. I can demonstrate on the technique to push through a single counter spell. Taking my beats. Yeah, I hope they tap out for True Name Nemesis or something that doesn't matter here. That would be great. Recruiter of the Guard. Okay. This can grab Solitude to try to... Okay, Meddling Mage. Hope that's going to be a little too late. End of turn, Otawara, the Lavinia. Pew pew. And then I'm going to shoot my shot before Meddling Mage comes down. And I guess they could be a Daze deck, so I'm going to play Crystal Vein. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See all those lands go to the graveyard. Adios. They clearly have many Hate Bears, though. This creative technique, I'm a little worried about the Demonstrate, but they've also shown me they're a Force of Will deck, so I have to take my shot here. Let's just see some equipment or something that doesn't matter. Recruiter, okay. And that can get us Solitude. We know they have at least one instant they can tutor for, but I wasn't planning to play another turn here anyway, one way or the other. Yep, there's Solitude. Technique. Let's just go straight to Emrakul. Let's skip all the nonsense here. Ooh, are they going to double force me? That would be so nasty. Okay, sure. Well, I can't really win anymore. Okay, yeah, double force also does it. A double force deck full of Hate Bears. This fourth Pyrokinesis is coming in. Got a Sweet Gum Recluse. Caracas hits Lavinia. That's probably relevant. Just another answer to that thing. And got another Hickory Woodlot. I think that's the worst land in the deck. Okay, here I go. All lands, mulligan. This has an Otawara. It needs more mana, but this deck's full of mana. And let's just get to work here. Opponent kept 7. That's cheating. You have a Polluted Delta. I found Sulfur Vent, so I can go for the turn 3 boarding party here. See if they have big, stupid, jerk Lavinia. They don't. Ooh, this Saprison Scary is really interesting because that turns on Otawara as a play that I have available to me. I can just fire now. If they have 2 counter spells, I lose. Or Flusterstorm, I lose. And I have to spend all my lands. I have to sack all 3 lands and then start the slow process of rebuilding. Versus giving them another turn to operate. Okay, I mean, I hate this, but I'm going for it. I hate this a lot. Boarding Party. I'm playing the haste creature rather than the flying creature. If they just stifle this Cascade trigger and then Swords of Plowshare is my creature, that's a good play too. Just hoping the shields are down and we find our way through. Creative Technique. I have to demonstrate against the blue deck. Here we go. Force of Negation is the card they found. Okay, so I just demonstrated nothing, basically. And we're just right back where we started. Please have nothing, please have nothing. Oh, they're fetching. Seems like a person who doesn't have nothing. Oh, Brainstorm. I wonder if they already have Force, and this Brainstorm is just how much can I find a better blue card to pitch, or if they actually need to find the Force here. Technique, technique, please resolve, please resolve. Force, pitching, Baleful Strikes. All right. Well, Boarding Party. Let's go. Coast to coast, buddy. It's up to you now. Oh, they took 6 and then plowed it. As much as I'd like to concede this game, I think we have to keep playing. I do have an Aurora Phoenix, deck's full of lands. Lavinia makes it harder, but I do have the Otawara. Okay, the red's depletion land, I think, is the one that I want next. Or we can just draw Aurora Phoenix. Again, I don't think I can play Otawara. I do have a lot of life to work with here. Another Scary. Okay, that at least gets Otawara going. If I can find a red source, we get another shot. Lavinia back to 20 life. Got me. Recruiter. This probably gets Meddling Mage, and then we are locked out next turn. Pyrokinesis is still in the deck, but it can't really cast it, though, because of Lavinia. Oh, yes, I can. All right. I have a plan. It's not going to come into play for a little while, though. If I Otawara the Lavinia, it unlocks Pyrokinesis that can light up the Meddling Mage. I have to do this on a turn where I have red available, though. It can't happen yet. Meddling Mage resolves. Creative Technique, good choice. I'm on red source right now. Ugh. I take 5 down to 12. And then I take 5 to 7. I get 2 more draw steps here. You're killing me, deck. Literally. Because I go to 7, I get 1 more draw step. The next attack puts me to 2. Ancient Tomb is off. We've got to find the red source now. And they can't play another creature. Red source, red source. Wow, we were actually like close to making a game out of that. I could buy some time here, I guess, by channeling Otawara. I'm gonna have to re-answer this Lavinia. I was going to discard anyway and get on board, so that it was the time to make that. A deal damage to these things, pitching one of my 4 Aurora Phoenixes in my hand. Yeah, Lavinia is such the perfect answer to this. Even Canonist, Meddling Mage, all this stuff just dies to these Pyrokineses, but you can't even Pyrokinesis with Lavinia in play. Right, this bought me a couple draw steps, but the draw steps have to find red source and beat Lavinia. Another blue source. There's a red source. Probably too late. I can cast the technique. Anything that comes out of it will be countered, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm still a land short of casting. All right, we're just dead. Cool. All right, I mean, that was interesting, pretty scrappy. This deck is basically tailor-made to beat what I'm doing. They have at least 5 forces plus the most potent hate bear and a bunch of other hate bears that they can tutor for. So, tough matchup, but we had some cool grind there. On to the next one. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy to create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structured tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.event/subscribe. On the draw, in round 4, I have 5 mana on turn 3 and the technique to cast. Let's go. I'm kind of glad, like intellectually, that we hit a snag finally in the last round. I don't want a deck like this one to be good. I'm going to be honest. I'm deeply biased towards keeping a healthy legacy format. I want this to be a thing you can do and be fun and be cool, and it should even win some matches, but it should not be inexorable. Preordain. Okay. Preordain makes me suspect that this is more likely a combo deck than a Delver deck, but we will find out soon together. I would rather play against combo than Delver, I think. We still haven't seen a Wasteland in the league, and I am terrified of it. I'm going to lead on Tinder Farm, because I think Sandstone Needle is better, and if they just fire off Wasteland, I'd rather keep the Needle. Another Preordain. They top the last Preordain. 2 Preordains in the list makes me even more suspicious that this is a combo deck. Sometimes Delver has a flex slot or 2, and they will... Yeah, okay. Show and tell confirmed. Yeah, Delver sometimes has a flex slot or 2, and they'll just put a Preordain in, because why not? But the second Preordain starts to give things away, and Ancient Tomb, we're just in show and tell land. Ponder. Okay, they're still sculpting here. If they show and tell just some monster, I might be able to beat it. If they show and tell Omni and do stuff, I'm in trouble. Lotus Petal. Uh-oh. Well, I can't interact with anything, so here it comes. I'm going to put in Sandstone Needle, I think. Yeah, that lets me play around Daze next turn. All right, here we are. Grizzlebrand, pretty powerful. This can find a lot of counter spells. Oh, firing now. I like that. That means some of them will have to go to discard. I can play Otawara and just return the Grizzlebrand and kind of play control here. This is a terrifying deck to Creative Technique against, because you have to demonstrate because they're a blue deck, but they could also just cast Emrakul. Okay, options here. I can demonstrate Creative Technique and just hope that what I do is better than what they do. I can play an Otawara, bounce this Grizzlebrand, make them go again. But they did just draw 7, and they're likely to find more. Alright, I am going to cast Creative Technique. And I'm going to put Ancient Tomb into play as my land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the mana that gives me the most to work with next turn, if there is a next turn. Okay, let's hope you only have 1 counterspell in the 20 cards you were looking at between your hand Grizzlebrand activation and this incoming Grizzlebrand activation. Well, they hit Emrakul. They get the next turn, but if I find Emrakul, I get a turn in between their 2 turns. Let's see what's going on here. Alright, Phoenix, the first technique just resolved. That's cool. I'm going to keep demonstrating. At this point, I'm all in, and there's no way to be cute here. They already have Grizzlebrand and Emrakul in play. Like, how much worse could it get? Alright, they hit a Force of Will. That's fine. That's the same as not demonstrating. And it's a force that's out of the pool of cards they could have in their hand at any point during this turn. Okay, they countered the original Creative Technique. If I spike my own Emrakul anywhere along this chain, we just steal it. Steal the game, that is. Alright, they've fired off Grizzlebrand. They've realized that they better do something. Another force, pitching Daze. I was right to play around Daze, and 12 cards left in their hand, 2 life left, and they do have another force. Oh no. Alright, yeah. Alright, sure, whatever. Okay. It took 3 Force of Wills, but they did survive the turn. Okay, this is scary. I don't like it at all. Mirrorshell Crab. Definitely need my counterspells available here. Karak is just a generally good tool against decks like this. And Otawara, I guess. I had Otawara and determined it wasn't the right play there. Protege enters the battlefield with a copy of any permanent that entered the battlefield this turn. This will not see Grizzlebrand. Like, if my opponent show and tells, I don't get an Omniscience because they enter at the same time. So at the spot where you would be choosing what Protege becomes, yeah, that doesn't work. Okay. Tybalt's Trickery. Is this a functional counterspell in the deck? Let me look at this. Counter target spell. Choose 1, 2, or 3 at random. Mills that many cards. Yada yada. They may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Okay, so if I counter a show and tell with this, then they spin and maybe it becomes Ponder, maybe it becomes Emrakul. If I Cascade into this, or if I Creative Technique into this, it just doesn't do anything. If I Cascade into it, I can Trickery my own Cascade spell, and we refire on new spell. You get whiff potential by techniquing into this, but you do gain a counter spell. Okay, Sweet Gum Recluse and Hickory Woodlot are where I have been trimming. And shave one more Woodlot here. Just realized my Tybalt's Trickeries don't match. Gross. Okay. I think this is where we are. Yeah, I cut 3 lands, but I added 2. And then I have 4 air quotes counter spells. Okay. Let's do it. I hope I don't get BTFO'd by my own Tybalt's Trickery. I have a turn 3 technique here. 1 Emrakul in my hand already hurts, but I'm going to keep. If they show and tell and pass, I win. If they try to race me, the Emrakul in my hand's actually good in this matchup. I'm going to start with Saprison Scary, because Scary plus Ancient Tomb can Otawara on turn 2, if I need to do that, and if I draw Otawara. It's just a nexus of ifs that intersect meaningfully to me. Barak is also a good card for the matchup. All right. Now I'm going to have to make some real decisions of, am I just shoving this Creative Technique? I can play around Daze. Okay, show and tell. How about Emrakul on Storm? No, they had the Omniscience! Son of a biscuit. All right, GG, whatever. Hard to be mad at a show and tell player when I'm doing what I'm doing. Neither of these are really my preferred play patterns in Legacy, and seeing them up against each other is just makes me never want to play either of these decks in real life. But that was fun, high octane Magic. If they just had the Emrakul but not the Omni, I actually win there. It would be really hard for a Grizzlebrand to overcome this, even at the Caracas to clear blocker if they somehow had blocker, but yep. The turn 2 full show and tell nut draw. We couldn't quite beat it. On to the next round. Final round. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the play in the final round against Adam Wasmo, who I know tends to favor land strategies in formats, just legacy lands, modern amulet, that kind of stuff. He just said he's firing up my Vintage Doomsday League that released today as we speak. So he's got me in his ear and across the table stuff. This hand has Sweet Gum, and I can actually play it. I'll keep... And if we're doing lands junk, like if we are against a dedicated Wasteland deck and never reach 5 mana in any game, that's certainly a way to lose. It may seem weird, but I think this deck could actually play Blood Moon. And it just slows down your combo, but the core of your deck's red anyway, and Wasteland is the most awful card imaginable. I'm going to lead on Sulfur Vent because Woodlot is more important. Alright, Moment of Truth. Okay, Underground Sea is not in land strategies. Underground Sea is in Death Shadow strategies, which is also a Wasteland deck, or this could be, along with everyone else on the world, trying out Mind's Desire stuff. I'm going to play Woodlot this turn, basically no matter what I draw, because Woodlot is a better 2-mana land than Sulfur Vent, because you get to do it twice instead of once, and okay, cool. We found the 5-drop, which still gets cast by Otawara. Okay, don't kill me, don't wasteland me. Thoughtseize, that sucks too. Gonna lose my creative technique, and we're back on Sweet Gum. Ancient Tomb, City of Traders, Crystal Vein, all hits here. Not a wasteland. Death Shadow confirmed. Grief. Pitching Snuff out. Okay. Stripping the Sweet Gum slows down my combo. Stripping Maelstrom Wanderer could indicate a reanimate. Okay. Dwarven Ruins is a better land than Solve Prevent, even if it gives up information. Yeah, I'm going to play the Ruins. This one just has... It taps for a color that I care about, where Solve Prevent doesn't. And I'm one more turn cycle away from casting this Maelstrom Wanderer. Then the party starts. Like it or not, here I come. Death Shadow's awake now, opponent at 12. They could reanimate Sweet Gum and then have enormous creatures in play. Alright. Just putting a little 6 power in play. Crystal Vein. Blue-red. Green-green. Red-red. 1-2. That is Maelstrom Wanderer. Daze is up right now. I don't have a good source of blue. If I play Sulfur Vent, gives my opponent a turn to draw a Thoughtseize or add up to Force of Will. I get to Cascade twice though. Jeez. Yeah, alright. Let me just count this again, because I got this thing's mana value wrong once before. It is 5 rug. That's 8 total. 5 plus 3 is 8. Blue, red, green, green. That's 4, and it's all rug. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I believe it's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's send it like your least favorite commander player. Mausoleum Wanderer is on the stack. And he doesn't even want to be here anymore. He's out of here. Okay. Alright, we beat 2 discard spells that game. Rose of Chaos, that engine does exist for these low resource discard decks, I think. If I understand this card correctly. I'm gonna rock with it. There are only 2 Tybalt's Trickeries, so if they let throws resolve, and then Trickery, counter the Trickery, then I can only retrace throws once. And then throws also messes up my Cascade chain, because I can't just hit like a throws with no Tybalt's Trickeries left in my deck. That is far from free, but it does let me go off on low resources and gives me resilience to discard, both of which are things that I value in this matchup, so I'm going to try it. Do I need 2 Emrakuls in this matchup? That's something I haven't played around with. Having the 2 means that if you draw one, you can still hit it. Okay, I'm going to shave one of those. And Hickory Woodlot one more time. Once more for the road. Okay, I'm going to try this Throws package against the Death Shadow deck. Okay. 2 double red sources, 2 City of Traders, 3 payoffs. This hand hyper resilient to discard, unless it's Thoughtseize plus Surgical, just stripping my creative techniques out of the deck. I'm going to lead on Woodlot, because that's the worst one. This is a Wasteland deck. Troll of Khazad-dûm, found Watery Grave, getting griefed. The grief can take one of these, 2 if there's a reanimate, but I have 3. Took the technique, reanimated Troll. They think the beatdown is a better plan than the griefing. Probably a good call with Wasteland backup. Get Dwarven Ruins in here. So I play Ruins, I go to 14, I play Sandstone Needle, I go to 8, and then I play City of Traders and Boarding Party, if it's still there. The next reanimate strips me down to nothing. I'll buck naked out here against Death Shadow. Watery Grave, Death Shadow, oh yikes. That could flip the clock on me if they can lose a bunch of life next turn. Sandstone Needle, pass. All I can do is cross my fingers and cast my Boarding Party. That's the plan that's available to me. This is 9 damage, I'm at 14 right now. Have to 5 yourself somehow? In Reanimating Grief plus Fetchland does it. Surgically and Creative Technique sucks pretty hard too. Yeah, getting picked apart by Black Wasteland decks, I imagine, even worse than Esper Vial, because Esper Vial can be a little wonky and kind of fail to itself, and Pyrotechnics is a good counterplay, but this business, the hyper-efficient clock, Thoughtseize, Grief, Surgical, woof. And this is one of the top decks in the format, too. It's really tough to feel this bad against a deck this popular. But Boarding Party will hit either Tybalt's Trickery or Throes of Chaos now, because there's no techniques left. I at least did sideboard appropriately to have something else to do here. We could still cast Emrakul this turn. All right, everybody on board. They're also at 8, so I don't need a whole lot of haste damage to win this game. I hope I hit Throws and not straight into Trickery, because I want the Boarding Party. All right, there's Throws. This will hit Trickery, which will target Throws, which hit Maelstrom Wanderer. That's 15 points of haste. What you got over there? Another Throws, which will be another Trickery. Oh, wait. Oh, I just randomly milled my other Trickery. Cool. Yeah, in the randomly like mill 3 from the first Trickery, I hit my other one. All right. Wow. Sideboard planned for the save. Incredible. I thought for sure we were losing that game. Positive record, though. We got to see the best and worst of this deck. We got to see the sideboard plan in action. I have to assume the people who really put work into this, like I just copied a 5-0 list. I've done no real critical thought about how this deck is constructed. It's not my style. I'll never register it for a tournament that matters. It's just a fun thing to feature for my channel that's built to feature Eternal decks in Eternal formats. Like it's perfect for that. But the Sakashima's Protege being nearly uncastable, mana trouble, like a whole game where I didn't have blue for Otawara, then another game where I had blue for Otawara but not red for every other spell in my deck, and just sort of, you do have 11 colorless lands in the deck. We're not playing the sack land that starts with red or starts with blue. And clearly we're playing the 2 that sack into red, which is what you need more often when the plan is going well. But there are every wedge is, or every shard is represented by these. So there should be a blue one that sacks for black-white, and there's a red one that sacks for green-black. And those maybe for more stability in a longer game. I don't know. Also, Wasteland is just such a heckin' nightmare that, and you could play Blood Moon in your sideboard. I'm just saying, it does nothing to stop your Cascade chain other than makes it happen slower. But if you have no lands because you're waste locked by lands, there's that. I think I like Fury more than Pyrokinesis as well. Fury costs 5 instead of 6, which actually does dilute your Cascade into Creative Technique. It's not just it hits Planeswalkers versus being an instant. It also meaningfully impacts. Like, you could just Boarding Party into Fury and then the party's over. Well, maybe that's just too bad for the deck, but Fury being a 3/3 double strike that you could just cast with 5 mana. I don't know. Maybe this is the cowardly control player in me trying to figure out how to make things work when they didn't work the first time in a deck that is just desperately trying to make it work the first time. Yeah, those are my notes. Playing 5 matches with the deck. It's probably well constructed already, and take what you want with that tiny sample size from someone biased against this type of deck in the first place. But we did put up a positive record, and we had fun doing it. Thank you all for being here. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, check out the sponsors, all the stuff that makes the channel possible, and I'll see you next time.